Oh, the Malaysian Prime Minister's unity government facing a crucial test as two states head to the polls in a vote that could reshape the larger political landscape. Negeri Sembilan's Legislative Assembly was dissolved today, paving the way for state elections within 60 days. This follows Johor's dissolution on Monday. Analysts say the polls could expose local rivalries within Anwar Ibrahim's federal coalition. CNA senior correspondent Malaysia reports from Kuala Lumpur.
Kita tetap bekerja dan iktiraf kedudukan yang Tuan Besar Negeri Sembilan, Tuan Kris, dan mohon supaya apa-apa pandangan yang lain dibuat mengikut jalur yang sah mengikut perlembagaan tanpa menimbulkan keresahan.
Now, while the legality of Negeri Sembilan's dissolution is still being challenged, the southern state of Johor is gearing up for a state election, which must be held by the end of next month. Now, all eyes are on the two impending state elections in Johor and Negeri Sembilan, as their outcomes may determine the timing of the next general election. Now, although it's not due till early 2028, Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim is widely expected to call for snap polls before the end of the year amid rising political and economic uncertainties.
He won't delay it. In fact, he would actually call it early, maybe at the end of this year. Simply because, one, as I mentioned, the situation with his own political party. So Johor and Negeri Sembilan will be a very good test case. The situation in the Middle East is also another unsettling factor.
Now, all sides will be testing their public support after more than 3 years under Prime Minister Anwar's unity government that comprises 4 main coalitions and 18 parties. This comes after Pakatan Harapan, led by Mr. Anwar, failed to secure a majority to form the government on its own in the 2022 general election. Now, on Friday, Mr. Anwar said he was caught off guard by the sudden dissolution of the UMNO-led Southern State of Johor State Assembly.
Saya menyeru rakan-rakan dalam pimpinan kerajaan itu tumpu soal ekonomi, masalah rakyat. Masalah kita ada masa, biar tumpu 2-3 bulan ini betul-betul pulihkan balik, kemudian pilihan raya lah.
Now, while UMNO, led by Deputy Prime Minister Ahmad Zahid Hamidi, is aligned with Pakatan Harapan at the federal level, the two coalitions remain rivals in Johor and Negeri Sembilan. UMNO, which won 40 of the 56 seats in Johor in the last state election, has pledged to perform even better this time round to reassert its political dominance nationally. Now, political analysts said a poor showing by Mr. Anwar's coalition in both the state elections could signal more trouble ahead for the fragile unity government.
If they lose ground, then it just simply exacerbates the crisis of confidence, the crisis of perception. The fact that they are struggling, the fact that they don't seem to be a shoe-in for re-election. They will have to fight very hard for re-election.
Now, also not helping Mr. Anwar's cause is the emergence of his former party deputy, Rafizi Ramli, who quit along with several senior party leaders and is now entering the fray under his own party, Bersama. Now, meanwhile, the opposition Islamic Party PAS, in a bid to sustain its green wave, has openly offered to work with UMNO to revive the Muafakat Nasional Pact.
It's going to be a long election cycle, and especially if it's a hung state assembly, anything could happen. And we're in such uncharted territories. Nothing ought to surprise Malaysians anymore.
Now, the unity government spokesperson Fahmi Fadzil said the state-level electoral outcomes by the two coalitions would not affect the federal administration. But only time will tell. Melissa Go, CNA, Kuala Lumpur.